Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Dog Pound Rundown. This will be a weekly show recapping the events that happened at Old Rochester Regional High School in the previous week.
This show will cover all of the school's departments, from sports to drama, AFS, and any and all stories from the school that stand out.
Today, we will touch upon topics like both the boys hockey and boys basketball team fighting side by side to win the state champion, Aaron Norcross, a local guitar prodigy, and also we will have an interview with the stars of the boys track team fresh off their state win.
We will later have footage from the AFS trip to California and finish with the week ahead with Principal Mike Devoll. Stay tuned to the end for Aaron Norcross playing through the credits. First, let's talk about the boys basketball team. Coming back from being down 18 in the second half against Cardinal Spelman, then tied with a minute left. We pick up on the action of the last possession. Cardinal Spelman inbounding the ball, 17 seconds left, tied at 66. Coming down the court. And then a blocked pass by Jacob Caffarella gets the ball to Matt Valls. Up to Russell Noonan to finish with the game-winning layup.
And as you can see, Spellman's three is no good, which sets off the Dog Pound to storm the court in celebration.
Then it was on to Mashpee for the Division III quarterfinals. The number 2 ranked Mashpee led the Bulldogs by 10 starting the fourth quarter. Well, trailing in the fourth seems to be where we want to be, quickly picking up on Mashpee's tail. Division III South quarterfinals, Old Rochester versus Mashpee. Matt Valls with a dominating tip-off. And it was also Matt Valls with the first point of the game. Junior Jason Gamach got the ball stolen, but followed him down for the block at the backboard.
Bennett Fox with a good three. Bennett passes to Russell for a good three. Okay.
And Russell Noonan again with another deep three.
We got Bennett Fox charging in with a good drive, good for two. Passes to Matt V, shot is good. Bulldogs up by 1.
Minute left, up by 2. J-Caf goes down the court, and Matt V with the powerful layup. He'll go to the line for the three-point play. And the foul shot is good, putting the nail in the coffin for this 5-point victory over Mashpee. Sad to say, the girls basketball team lost last week 51-32 against Rockland in the first round of the playoffs. I'm sure the team is going to miss all their seniors, and good luck to them next season.
That's just one ORR team heading to the South semifinals. The ORR Fairhaven hockey team is blazing their own trail to the semis. After a commanding win over Foxborough, shutting them out 9-0 with the help from their brick wall in the net, Chase Cunningham. Then it was on to Hopkinton, and this one was close. Ending the third 3-3, Sam Henry with all 3 goals. Scoreless for the first overtime, it was Noah Strawn who came in clutch in double overtime to get the game-winning goal. The Dogs then beat their rival, Dartmouth, and are now on to the South Sectional Finals to play against Rockland.
Next, I spoke with local guitar prodigy and ORR senior Aaron Norcross about his upcoming concert at the Cape Cod Melody Tent, a venue that has seen performers such as B.B. King, Leonard Skinner, and Willie Nelson.
My name is Aaron Norcross, and I am in 12th grade at Old Rochester Regional High School.
When will you be playing at the Melody Tent?
I'll be playing the Melody Tent August 23rd of this year. It's a Wednesday night.
What was it like when you got the offer to play at the Cape Cod Melody Tent?
It was something else, to be honest, because I had the goal set when I was 14 and I began to play out on Cape a lot. And I said, by the time I'm I said by the time I'm 17, I want to play the Melody Tent, but I'll be 18, so I was only like a couple months off. So when he finally said, "Hey, we want you to come play," with all these huge names, I don't know really. I couldn't really say anything. I just kind of sat there. I was like, "You're like serious, right?"
Who else will be performing the night you are?
It'll be Rick Derringer, who played Free Ride. I don't know if many people know the song, but it's pretty popular. Barry Goudreau from Boston. And the person that I'm really looking forward to meeting is Jeff Skunk Baxter. He's the guitar player and founder of Steely Dan. He was also Jimi Hendrix's bass player in the 60s. So that's going to be something else.
Is there a signature guitar you're going to use that night?
It depends on the songs that we play. It depends on who I'll be playing with. Most likely I'll use my 61 reissue Strat that I have that we modded, and it's all blacked out. It's just completely black.
What songs will you be playing?
Like I said, it depends on who we'll be playing with. If I play like by myself and with like a band, I'll probably end up doing Elmore James's version of "The Sky Is Crying." Also made famous by like Stevie Ray Vaughan and like Jimi Hendrix. They all did that song. And then I play a lot of 50s music, like rockabilly, swing. So I'll probably end up doing something like that too, with like a horn section and big band. So I'm looking forward to it.
How long have you been playing guitar?
I picked it up officially when I was 7, and that was when I took it seriously. But I was inspired by Pete Townsend of The Who to play at like 2. So I picked up the guitar when I was 2, put it down for a long time because I didn't want to practice. I didn't want to do anything. And then at 7, I saw it in my room, and I was like, you know what, I need to do this again. So then my 7th birthday, my parents bought me like a full-size Gibson guitar. And then from there on to now, I've been playing seriously out.
Who are some of your role models and heroes in the guitar world?
To start, obviously Pete Townsend. He's like the main inspiration why I'm like the biggest Who's fan on this planet, like no question. If I was to say now, I would say Cliff Gallup from Gene Vincent and Blue Caps. They're a 50s rockabilly band. Danny Gatton, Eddie Cochran. For rockabilly side, for blues, Stevie Ray Vaughan, obviously. Jimi Hendrix, Albert Collins, B.B. King. That's probably the main ones.
Have you always performed solo?
No, I've actually always been with a band. I've done a few solo shows here and there, but they were just kind of like 20-minute sets just for like warm-ups or like just to show. Like it's not anything like major. Now that I've been playing for a while and to make like a little extra money, I'll probably end up making a solo show so I can play 3 hours just by myself. So that's probably soon to come.
How much will the tickets cost to go to the show?
I don't know if it's been publicly announced yet. Since it's the Melody Tent, they probably won't be that expensive. I'm thinking between probably $40 and $50 a ticket probably. I'm really excited for this and putting all the time and effort in that I have been for the past professionally 5 years, like playing Outwise and stuff, for it to finally like pay off for me, like pretty much being on the grind for 4 years and just like playing show after show. Last Sunday was my 500th show in 4 years. So I average about 125 a year. I play probably between 10 and 12 times a month. And now that I have an original record coming out pretty soon, and I'm making all original music, that should be out within the next 6 months. So by the time I play the show, I'll be able to sell like merchandise and my album there. And then that'll be sent to Brian Setzer from the Stray Cats and the Brian Setzer Orchestra because I met him last year and he wants to get it. So there's a lot of irons in the fire right now that as soon as they all pull through, that my dream of being like professionally like noticed and nationally noticed could finally actually come true.
Wow, I had no idea Aaron was that good at guitar.
I know. Last time I saw him play was Guitar Hero at my house in elementary school.
Next, our very own Amanda Caldwell went with AFS to California from March 1st to March 4th. They went to places such as the Sacramento Zoo and even got to see Alcatraz on a boat tour of San Francisco. Amanda departed Logan Airport Wednesday morning. After a 6.5-hour flight, she landed in San Francisco and drove to her host's house in Sonora. She woke up the next morning and attended a couple of classes at Sonora High School with her hosts. She got to walk around and explore downtown with the club. After, the group made their way to Moaning Cavern and traveled down a narrow staircase and another spiral staircase for a total of 165 feet down the vertical chamber. A guide spent time informing them about the formation of cave structures such as stalactites and stalagmites. They woke up early the next morning and headed to the Sacramento Zoo, where Amanda got some great footage of the animals. However, she wasn't a big fan of the howler monkeys. Listen to that scream. After the zoo, they visited stores in Old Town Sacramento. On their last day in California, they visited San Francisco. They walked around the pier and took a ferry ride under the Golden Gate Bridge. The club also got to see the island of Alcatraz, the site of an infamous federal penitentiary. Most of the people who wound up here were notorious murderers and bank robbers. And overall, it was a fun trip and a great opportunity for the club. A special thanks to Nurse Kim and Rhonda for making it all possible.
This is a big year for sports at ORR. Not only were two teams fighting for states, one team had already won states. The ORR boys indoor track team this year were the Division 5 state champions for the first time in school's history. I talked with 3 stars from the team about this legendary season. I'm Jacob Davis. I'm with athletes on the track team.
I'm Eli Spivak.
Danny Renwick.
And Will Hopkins.
So have you guys been on the track team all 4 years through high school?
Well, I have. I started my freshman year.
I've done winter track all 4 years.
Yeah, and I started my my junior year, but I did winter and spring junior year. So.
Have you played any other sports?
Yeah, I started. I played hockey and baseball. Hockey in the winter and baseball in the spring.
And I do baseball. I did cross country and football, but not every year.
Yeah, I did cross country all 4 years too. But.
Was the team confident going into this meet?
I think so.
I think so. I mean, we had less guys than most teams, so obviously we didn't have we didn't want to be overconfident. But I mean, I knew we thought we would have strong performances because we were seated pretty high, so we just had to execute. And
yeah, I mean, we looked at the performance list before the meet started, and we saw where we could get our points, and we knew we could get around anywhere from 40 to 50 points, and we thought that could definitely put us in the range to win it.
Yeah, we knew we had some top tier guys coming into this meet, younger guys stepping up for our relay teams.
Yeah.
So we knew we had a shot. We just had to execute.
Have any colleges taken notice of your achievements on the track field?
Yeah, well, I'm going to Williams College next year for track and field, and some other coaches have shown some interest as well.
yeah, we've gotten letters and stuff and some emails and calls. I'm going to Boston University next year, and I'm not sure if I'll be running. I've talked to the coach twice, so I'll probably meet them and maybe do an overnight and see how it goes.
My main focus is baseball, so I've gotten interest and I've looked into it, but baseball's the main focus.
What made you interested in being on the track team?
I was terrible at basketball. I had nothing else to do.
Yeah. Well, I did some high jumping the summer before junior year, so I knew I could high jump a little bit, and I kind of was more enticing than hockey, so I decided to switch over and do track instead.
Yeah, I did cross country. My original plan coming into high school was cross country in the fall, basketball in the winter, and lacrosse in the spring, and it didn't really work out. But I liked the people doing track, and I liked Bill and Cindy a lot, and doing cross country. So then Kevin Zacconi and Ben Roundsville told me to try hurdles, so I tried it. I really liked Sean, so just kept with it, and it was fun.
How have Bill and Cindy kept you focused this season?
I think they're really good at motivating us more with, we had nationals that we were really planning on doing, so that really motivated us to do well in that. But then I think when we realized as the season progressed how we could do at states, and the reality of possibly winning became more plausible, that it pushed us in practice a little more.
Yeah, and they always reminded us that, we got to put in the work in practice, because, we do have the chance to, do really well at, meets like all states, New England's nationals, but we just have to put in the work in practice and work hard.
Yeah, it's easy to get lost in the hype of track and our success as a team, but Bill and Cindy help us stay on track, and as much as they help us, we help each other by competing with each other at practice and pushing each other, so it all works out.
I got a PB of 6'8" ¼ that day, and so that helped me win the high jump. And I got a PB of 7'7" in the hurdles, which was better than the next kid. I beat the kid by 100th of a second, so that helped get some points.
Yeah, I got my best time in hurdles. I improved by .02, but when you get to that point, that's a lot. So.
I think I did around my best. I ran in the 7.8s. My best was 7.85. I think I got 7.88. Something like that, but I think I was close, but I didn't get it. But if you go under 7, if you're within .05 of your best, then it's obviously a good performance.
Is there anything else you'd like to add that I haven't asked you about?
Nationals is coming up soon, March
11th.
March 11th, and
Yeah.
We're pretty poised with us three, and Harry Smith being on our shuttle hurdle team. So a relay team of hurdlers. Right now we're ranked pretty high in the country, top 6 get All-Americans, so as long as we show up and perform, we have a good shot at possibly being national champions.
Yeah.
Very possibly.
Yeah. And all 4 of us were there last year too, so at this point we're kind of used to the environment. I don't think we're going to get freaked out by the big stage, so I think we'll all be ready to perform as best we can.
Yeah, nationals is the last step in winter, because I know the next week we'll start spring track. And so me and Will did it sophomore year with Kevin and Ben, and that was the first time, and we got a school record, which was exciting. And then last year, we had me and Will, and then we started out with Danny and Harry, and we just barely qualified, and that was pretty exciting. So we went last year, and we didn't do as well as we planned, but we knew that we had the potential to get a lot better, and that none of us were graduating, so we all came back this year. And then this year we had our best run at the East Coast meet in Providence, and we just pushed ourselves a lot, and now since then we've PB'd considerably, all 4 of us, so we think that we can get under 30, which would hopefully get us All-American, and it'll be very exciting, because it's the first time we have the potential to actually do something as opposed to getting 20th or something.
Yeah.
Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And now we have Principal Mike Devoll to give you guys the week ahead.
Okay, hello everybody. This is the week ahead. This is a component of my email series that I put together for parents and students to try to highlight the activities that are happening in and around the school for the coming week. And this is a new forum to get that message out there, so this is awesome, and I'm appreciative of ORCTV's willingness to do this. So your guide to the coming week, the week of Monday, March 13th. Before we hit the weekly events, I want to draw your attention to the school website. Right on the front page of the school website, we have a new collection of recent Old Rochester sporting events that have been filmed by ORCTV. They're collected there for your reference, for your viewing, and it's quite an impressive production. So it's good to see our student athletes in a online forum where they can watch themselves play and watch their teammates. So into Monday, March 13th, 2017. It's Monday, it's a day 5 in our schedule, and we will have students taking the National Latin exam that morning. It's a 1-block assessment for students taking Latin. It's the National Latin Exam. We won't be running gym classes next week on Monday. All gym classes will be going to the the auditorium for a directed study. That evening, the Athletic Booster Club starts. It's their annual phone-a-thon, okay? And that's in the cafeteria. And it's a big night for all of our student athletes because they are the primary fundraising mechanism for our students. Without the Booster Club, we would lack any kind of benefits to a banquet for a team, any extra equipment, gear like sweatshirts, supplies for sports teams. When a soccer team needs soccer balls, they use their funds through the Athletic Booster Club. So it's a vital fundraiser. On Monday, girls tennis, girls and boys basketball, and baseball will be manning the phones at the phone-a-thon. So those of you in the community, be ready to get a phone call from a current student athlete at Old Rochester. Also, there's drama rehearsal that night as we're getting closer and closer to production week of Joseph and the Amazing Color Dreamcoat. So we are into Tuesday, March 14th. It's a day 6th. It's Pi Day, 3.14. So on Pi Day, the AFS Club will be selling whoopie pies in the lobby throughout the day. Another day without gym classes. The students will be reporting to the auditorium for a directed study. Lunch is going to be tacos, and a really awesome event in the evening at 6:30. The Friends of Old Rochester Music put on a concert series for all students in the elementary schools up and through senior high school. It's the instrumental concert. So the bands from each of the elementary schools, the junior high, the senior high, are putting on a concert at 6:30 in the gymnasium. It's a great take every year to see musicians of all ages in the district. Also that evening, our parent-teacher-student organization will meet in the high school library. The PTSO is off the ground and running, and their monthly meeting is Tuesday in the library. On Wednesday, March 15th, beware the Ides of March. It's a day 7, and it's a early release at the high school. So students will have 4 shortened classes. There'll be about 55 minutes during the day, and a dismissal at 11:30. We won't serve lunch on Wednesday, March 15th. We'll be selling the rest of our whoopie pies in the lobby, and the gym classes will have their final day in the auditorium for a directed study. That evening on March 15th, there's an organization out of Sipican called the Anchor monthly meetings, and that happens at 6 o'clock in Marion. It's a great school and community and parents connecting event, so we always encourage people to go to the Anchor meetings. Booster Club phone-a-thon that night on Wednesday is boys tennis, girls and boys lacrosse, and that's in the cafeteria. It's the Booster Club phone-a-thon. We are into Thursday, March 16th, and it's a day 8 in our cycle. It's a quiet day here. Lunch is grilled cheese, and in the evening our phone-a-thon has boys and girls spring track in the cafeteria. And finally, Friday, March 17th is a day 1. We have a deadline for any student interested in taking an AP class next year. The AP contracts are due to the main office on Friday, March 17th, and the lunch is chicken fajita. That gets us through the week of events. I'd be remiss to not mention that on Sunday, March 12th, our boys ice hockey team is in the South Final at 3:15 at Gallo Rink in Bourne against Rockland. They've had an amazing season. They won last night against Dartmouth 6-3. It was a great school event, very well attended by the entire community. So if you're around on March 12th, 3:15, boys ice hockey, it's the finals of the South Sectionals, and their historic season we hope will continue beyond Sunday. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, RCTV, and go Bulldogs.
Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and please tune in next week. Until then, have a good one.
And remember to stay tuned for the credits to get a view of Aaron Norcross playing guitar for us.
Take me